And now, once you're clear with these important elements, we need to be clear about mock and inject mocks. See, mocks will create mocks, inject mocks will create object, and inject mocked dependencies. So here, if you see, mocks creates only mocks. Here it first creates object and then injects mock dependencies to that object. That's what is the basic difference between mock and mock inject. That's what is something which you need to plan, that in what scenario I'll be using mock inject, in what scenario I will be using @mock. This is something which you need to decide, and that decision is based on what is your current need. So let's go ahead and see the fundamental difference between them. So understand one thing, when you're using your JUnit and Mockito, in order to get mocking feature in your JUnit, you can use @mock as well as @injectMock annotation. For what? Both of these will create mocks. Now, what is the difference? See, before you understand the difference, you need to understand that a mock is nothing but it's a proxy interface which is used to hide underlying dependency and the behavior. So what is the scenario when actually you will be using @injectMock? See, whenever you need to create class instance which need to be tested in test class, we will use InjectMocks, and it is called as code under test or system under test. You can use InjectMocks when actually method body need to be executed for a given class. You can use InjectMock when we need all or few internal dependencies initialized. You will be using mock to create objects that are needed in your system under test. And when you are using, you must define when, then return method of the mock object whose class methods will be invoked when actually you are doing the actual test execution. So this is something which you have to keep in mind, that when you are in need of class instance which need to be tested in the test class, InjectMock is the solution for it. I want to show you an implementation, but before we move there and see implementation, I would like to share the code, current code which is there with you. I'll just export it in form of archive. Next, I will browse. I'll go to my software, go here, and I will create a new folder, Day1 code. I'll open it. I'll give a name to this, Mockito sample. Now this is a zip file. Save, finish. Now I have shared it. It's there in the folder now. I'll move it to softwares then. Copy, paste. Now it's there. And in the meantime, what you can do, you can try this code. It's pretty simple to use it. See, what you can do is you can just go to your Eclipse file, use import, and go to Maven. After extracting, you can do that. For example, I can extract it here. Now this is extracted. You can go, I'll go to file, new, instead of new import, I'll go to Maven. Under Maven, I have existing Maven project. Next, I'll browse and I'll go to the folder where I have kept the extracted one. I'll select this. Now, you see project. It says project already exists. Add a version of suffix, name, template or something. I have to add version, suffix or something in advanced settings. So let me go to advanced, name template, V1 or V2, select it. This is not required and click on finish. Now what it does, you see, it comes here. That's all. You'll get all the source code, whatever I have written. Please install Ready API as well as SOAP UI. And other software that I want you to install is Postman.